outsmarted them. They cracked the one code the great detectives never mastered: how to stroll away unbeaten, uncaught, and impossible to forget. Sherlock Holmes could read a cigar's ash and rattle off the banker's worst fear. Hercule Poirot could eye a cufflink and replay an entire murder down to the killer's final breath. Yet both men nursed the same scar: two women who made them applaud their own defeat. Irene Adler, the American opera star who slid out of Holmes's trap and vanished with the photograph he swore no one could hide. Countess Vera Rossakoff, the Russian jewel thief who asked Poirot to choose between cuffs or a wink, then sauntered off while he pocketed the wink. Tonight we line them up, toe to toe, the only opponents who turned deduction into flirtation, evidence into poetry, and victory into a quiet, "Maybe next time, monsieur." Grab a notebook, mystery addicts. This isn't a love story. It's the scorecard of two women, already 3 moves ahead, while the legends were still figuring out checkers. Picture Victorian London, fog, gaslight, and a consulting detective who treats his brain like a freshly polished engine. Jump a decade. Art Deco London, jazz drifting out of cocktail bars, and a Belgian dandy who swears the little grey cells are sacred. 2 eras, 2 mythic sleuths, same headache. A dazzling woman who refuses to stay a clue. Irene Adler shows up once in Conan Doyle's Canon and colonizes Holmes's head forever. Countess Vera Rossakoff appears 3 times in Christie's Tales and hijacks Poirot's heart, long enough to make it skip. We're not talking damsels who need rescuing. We're talking escape artists who left the men standing in the dust they kicked up. Ready to watch the giants kneel, if only for a heartbeat. Let's rewind. The King of Bohemia storms 221B clutching a royal migraine. A photograph of him and an opera diva that could torpedo his wedding. He labels her a scandal. Holmes labels her the woman. You can almost hear the capital letters. Holmes's plan clicks like clockwork. Fake a fire scare, trick Adler into revealing the prince's hiding spot, swoop in. He poses as a groom, stages a street brawl, bleeds on her doorstep, method acting before the term existed. Adler answers. The door, cool as you like, hands him a handkerchief and slips out in the one disguise Holmes never forecasts: a random passerby. Next morning, the photo's gone, the house is bare, and Holmes finds a letter. She thanks him for the entertainment, wishes him luck, signs off, "Your obedient servant, Irene Norton, née Adler." Game, set, match. Holmes doesn't fume. He laughs, short and delighted. From then on, Watson swears Holmes never mentions her without the hush of reverence. He stores her photograph in his desk drawer. Not a trophy, a reminder that even the sharpest mind can brush against a hand it can't grasp. Fast forward to 1923. Hercule Poirot is inspecting a break-in at Marcus, Hardman's miniature and gem emporium. Missing: a ruby necklace and a diamond clip. Fingerprints: butler, maid, and, oddly, a glamorous Russian countess who swears she only stopped by for tea and never removed her gloves. Poirot sits opposite Vera Rossakoff in a drawing room that reeks of Turkish cigarettes and lilac. She purrs, "Mon petit, detective." Mismatched earrings flashing. Pearl left, sapphire right, and a tiny question mark scar on her wrist. Evidence whispers. Poirot's pulse shouts. Poirot stages his signature reconstruction. Haul the suspects back. Plant a fake story in the papers. Wait for the thief to flinch. Vera mails him a note. If you must pick between justice and mercy, remember, mercy keeps its value. That night, the necklace reappears on Hardman's desk, the diamond clip tucked inside Poirot's own coat pocket. No prints, no footprints, just a ghost of lilac. Poirot files the case, unsolved, slips the clip into his souvenir, box and tells Hastings some riddles are prettier left unsolved. He never sees Vera again, but in later books, he names a yappy Pekingese after her. Small, loud, impossible to train, impossible not to adore. Both women weaponize what the men expect. Adler knows Holmes braces for hysterics. She answers with cool courtesy. Rossakoff knows Poirot braces for flirtation. She layers it over steel. Each uses performance, costume, accent, a tilt of the head, as misdirection and calling card. They steal nothing for cash. They steal room to breathe. And each leaves the detective richer for the loss. Holmes pockets humility. Poirot pockets memory. Holmes calls emotion grit in the machinery. Yet he keeps Adler's photo like a valve that secretly likes the leak. Poirot insists the heart is an unreliable organ. Yet he pockets the diamond clip instead of logging it into evidence. The women prod the soft tissue inside genius, Holmes craving an equal mind, Poirot craving glamour untainted by handcuffs. One glimpse and the armor shows rivets. After A Scandal in Bohemia, Conan Doyle never resurrects Adler, yet every adaptation inflates her. BBC turns her into a dominatrix who texts in the nude. Hollywood recasts her as a sword-wielding thief. Christie lets Rossakoff cameo twice more. Each time she evaporates before Poirot can decide whether to cuff her or invite her to tea. Readers scribble the rest in fan fiction. Adler becomes a spy. Vera joins the resistance. Both become the one. Maze the heroes never fully map. Across 60 original Holmes tales, only Adler earns the definite article, the woman. In 33 Poirot novels and 50-some short stories, only Rossakoff rates 3 appearances and the detective's crushed hat in his hand. Statistically, they're outliers. Narratively, they're the beating heart that keeps the legends human. Think Catwoman dangling Batman over a rooftop kiss. Think Villanelle handing Eve Pilastri a lipstick that doubles as a blade. Pop culture keeps remixing the motif. The adversary who thrills. The mirror who shows the hero their funhouse. Reflection. Adler and Rossakoff wrote that code in ink mixed of diamonds and footlights. Which moment makes you punch the air? Adler striding down a foreign street, passport in hand, or Rossakoff's lilac-scented note sliding across Poirot's desk? Drop your pick below and defend it. Let's watch alliances form and friendships fracture. They model agency before. Agency was fashionable. Adler refuses blackmail. Rossakoff refuses typecasting. They remind us intelligence wears lipstick, steals the odd jewel, sings opera, writes thank you notes, and sometimes lets the detective off the hook because watching him wrestle with mercy is more delicious than watching him win. Adler's final letter to Holmes is dated May 21st, the same day Conan Doyle's wife Tui was diagnosed with tuberculosis. Some scholars read the story as the author's subconscious apology for emotional neglect. Rossakoff's scar is mentioned, once, never explained. Christie's version of a magician's half-finished trick. Holmes keeps the photograph for 25 fictional years. Poirot keeps the diamond clip until his final bow, curtain included. If you want a deep dive into how Ariadne Oliver balances Poirot's world with intuition over intrigue, smash that like button and type "Olive me please" in the comments, so I know you're ready for the next round. Great detectives solve murders. Great women solve the riddle of staying free. Irene Adler and Countess Vera Rossakoff never share a page, yet they occupy the same shelf in the detective's mind, labeled almost. Almost caught. Almost understood. Almost forgotten. Except they never fade. Next time you reread A Scandal in Bohemia or catch a trace of lilac in The Double Clue, remember, the rules of the game shifted the instant these women stepped on stage. Holmes tipped his hat. Poirot twirled his mustache. And somewhere, off-page, Adler and Rossakoff, clink glasses. Two strangers who proved the keenest mind still bends when the heart swerves. Mystery solved. The women didn't just outsmart the detectives, they outwrote them.